Hey ladies, it's Saturday night and you know what that means. You want to get away. Single Moms Lifestyle presents the Saturday Night Getaway.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I gotta make sure that I'm on our page, but I'm not trying to be on the page. So hey everybody. Hey. Come on in the room. Welcome everyone. If you are now tuned in, you are watching Single Moms to Wives Saturday Night Getaway. Of course, I'm your host, Queen G, sitting here with my beautiful co-host, Simply Lorraine.
Hello.
Woo! Chad. It
Yes,
is
ma'am.
almost November. October is over with.
Yes, ma'am.
It went by so fast. So fast.
Yes, it did.
What a year, to say the least. What a year. Everyone, we are here every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate you for tuning in and join us next Saturday, every Saturday here, same place, same time. If you guys would like to send any suggestions for show topics, I've gotten some really great ones. So you guys will be seeing us do those very soon. Or would like for us to give you a shout out or anyone else, you can email us at singlemomslifestyleradio@gmail.com. Hello, Russell. Welcome.
Yes, hello.
Um, so happy birthday one time for everyone, to everyone in the month of October. My new sincere, my niece, she just turned 14. I was like, no, don't go. She's such a sweet girl, though. So I have no doubt she's going to continue to grow just fine. And Brittany, my baby cousin, she just celebrated a birthday as well. Um, Wayana celebrated a birthday. My niece Wayana in Florida. So happy birthday to everyone. We still have some left in the month of October. Happy birthday to you today and tomorrow. Do you have any?
Yeah, it was a lot of birthdays this month. It was my birthday. It was my sister's
Oh, it
birthday.
was your birthday. I forgot
Yeah.
your birthday.
Yes,
Simple,
my
Simple Lady is older than me, guys.
Wow.
Older, yes.
Yes. And my uncle just turned 88 this past Wednesday.
Oh wow.
My Uncle George Lee.
Oh wow. That's a blessing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, Aunt. Well, again, we want to wish everyone a happy birthday in the month of October. And you got just another day or two, um, unless you're like me and you get it in all month. Um, from the first to the end of the month, I celebrate to the last day. I think I go over into April too, but whatever.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, everybody. Um, so how has your week been?
Phew.
I almost didn't ask the question, but I had to ask
Right.
the question.
It's been a week. To say the least, it has been a week.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been a
yeah. It's been a week.
yeah, it's been a week. It's been a blessed week, a sorrowful week. It's just been a week.
Yeah. We definitely want to send out prayers to your family um, on the loss of your cousin, and definitely praying for their strength and just prayerfully, God, He will just wrap His arms around them, and soothe their hearts.
Yeah.
Today is definitely another special day. We lost our beautiful, just lively, full of life Aunt Dottie. And her birthday is today. So happy heavenly birthday to you, to her. We love her. She's everything.
Mhm.
Oh, I talked about her. She was my rock, honey. So, and we want to continue to pray for the Brown family and the Cobbins and all of them. Because times like this is hard. So we're praying for you guys continuously. We love you. And yeah, so my week has been up and down and all around, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to get ready for many, 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 many events. Black Friday, of course, at Royal Air. So you guys stay tuned. Check us out. We will be running some sales um, on Black Friday. And we are also getting ready for our Thanksgiving food drive. Anybody that has any non perishables, we are accepting those. We are also this year accepting cold as well as pre cooked meats that just have to be heated up, but we're asking for them. Um, Preferably like a little closer to the week of actually Thanksgiving, and we'll be going around to the homeless handing that out. We're also doing our winter clothes drive, which we basically are asking for hats, gloves, scarves, sock warmers, glove warmers, um, blankets, warm blankets, anything like that, heated blankets, anything like that we can actually hand out in Atlanta to the homeless that are literally sleeping on the streets. This is our annual outreach that we do every year. So if you follow our page, which is Single Moms Lifestyle, Single Moms to Wives, you'll also see the flyer there, as well as on Instagram. I am Royal Air One, as well as our Instagram, Single Moms Lifestyle, Single Moms to Wives page. So you'll see the flyer, the address, which is 455 Bellwood Road in Calhoun, Georgia. Zip code is 30701, and it's suite number 31. If you guys could just stop by and bless someone with one or both of these outreach programs that are outreach donations that we're asking for, we would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, so that's what I'm preparing for, and that's been my week. But it's getting better. It's getting better. So we are gonna get into tonight's hot topic, and it is juicy, actually. So I saw this post, and you guys know every now and then we will, if we don't get a topic or get to your topics that you do suggest, it's just based on the temperature of the environment. Most likely we will get to it. Um, but this one is also a very interesting one we wanted to discuss tonight, which was a post that I saw. Sent it to Simply Lorraine. I was like, and she was like, So we was like, yeah. So
Pretty much.
that's pretty much where we are tonight. So the post said it's 90% of absent fathers because of the mother's behavior. As parents, do we stand in the way of our children having a healthy balance? Let's talk about it. So, to every last one of our or two of our
You know what? I'm not doing you tonight. That's
viewers. Listen, we know we chose a Saturday night, and it is people's kick back out if you still hit the streets, right? All that. But hey,
listen,
we
I'm
do
kicking
this.
back right here, talking right now in my bed.
That's that on that. but we do this not for the numbers, but for the information.
Okay.
And we do hope to pour into as many people that we can, that our show cross your path. So if you guys don't mind helping us out, please tag, like, share, and let's just, shed some positive light, energy. Let's ask questions, as Jihad would say, and answer and solve problems. So, the topic, Simple Lorray, the
Yes.
topic, honey. So, do you feel like a lot of fathers are absent, are not as present in their children's lives because they are dealing with a lot from the mothers?
I mean, I can see how that's very possible. That's for sure.
Okay.
Because just in my own experience, I'm not gonna let somebody just take me through the ringer to just try and have a relationship a lot of the times. I'm not gonna keep fighting a battle I feel like I'm losing just to have a relationship with someone.
And you're speaking from what? From which
Just
stand?
my own experience. Just
Okay.
whether it be family, friends, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Even with children that I love, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't want to deal with the parent.
True, true, true.
The parent can make it hard. The
Okay.
parent can't, you know what I'm saying? It could be my own cousins, nieces, nephews. It doesn't matter. Sometimes the parent can make it hard to have a relationship with a child. And just, to for you to even be able to build a bond with that child.
Hmm. Hmm. And I would like to speak to that first from experience. I don't, you know, there's levels to this parenting. We just gonna put that out there. There's levels to it. Um, and so I guess it depends on the season and the mindset of the parents, um, and even their support system. I believe that I've gone through far few in between and very short phases where, you know, I can't really say I made it hard, but I did have expectations that were more for me
Mhm.
than considering the child or the children in this instance. I do feel like the relationships are different. I
Mhm.
think that there you have, the co-parenting. I'll say that because apparently that this is the content of this particular post is in regards to apparently two parents that are no longer in a relationship. So
Yeah.
I do think that there's the relationship of the co-parents
Mhm.
that has to be manned, and it has to be mature, and it has to be respectful. But I also think that there is the relationship of the I'll say the absent parent or the parent that's outside of the home and the child.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of times as parents, we don't consider that we make decisions. And I'm going to circle back around to this statement. We make
Okay.
decisions when it comes to the relationship based on our own um, wants and needs. And I don't think that a lot of times the child is considered. Let me wrap this up. However, this is not to say as an adult, as a parent, that your first priority is to make sure that your child's mental and physical well-being is first and foremost. So we have to, like I said, there's levels to this. I believe we have to really dissect this thing in a manner where we're looking at first and foremost is the parent in question, and I'll say both, is the parents in question stable minded, responsible, meaning are they able to make executive decisions that are not selfish decisions but based on the well-being of the child? And if we're considering that, then I think that, again, long as the other parent, the absent parent, is able to be responsible, is able to maintain a healthy relationship with the child, I think that my response is yes. I think a lot of times mothers can get in the way of the fathers being more present and more involved with their child. Go ahead.
No, you said it though. Like I mean, a lot of times we have to take the times, and as easy as it is to say, but sometimes really hard to do, take our feelings and emotions out of
I
things.
knew you was coming with that. That's your
I
thing.
already
That's your
knew.
feelings.
Well, because it's like, is it best for me or is it best for them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
And I
party,
mean,
all the parties involved. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's not
yeah,
just you. It's not just the co-parent, whether it be mother, father, father, mother. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, like, how is this going to affect the children that are
yeah,
involved in this
yeah.
situation?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like, for me in my own situation, it was never. They could come see him or get him anytime that he wanted to.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
times, if we leave it open, then the parent that doesn't want to be there isn't going to be anyway. You don't have to shut them out.
yeah. I think that I really think that a lot of times we're just gonna be honest, no filter, not politically correct tonight. It is what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
This is where you have to distinguish mothers and baby mamas.
Yes.
Can we just can we? So you have the baby mamas. I do feel like I swear I feel I've had baby mama moments. I really have. I've had them. I was like 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there. But I've had baby mama moments. So I have.
Most
So
definitely.
I can attest to both. But I think that the mothers are going to consider those things that I mentioned. They're going to consider, okay, is he a good father as far as mentally, physically, emotionally? Is he a good father? When I send my child with him when he's in my child's present, is he going to do everything that I would do, you know what I mean? Or not my way, but would he do, the nurturing things, the fatherly things? Is he good? Is he healthy for my child? And if the answer to that is yes, but you still have these baby mamas that's like, you can't see your child because you're not with me. Nope, you can't see little Ray Ray because your child support was late. Nope, you can't see Ray Ray because you got another girl and she got kids. No, you can't. I don't want my. That's when you're really playing a dangerous game with the child when it comes to their other parent being involved in their life. You understand what I'm saying? You can be mad all day long, whatever. You be in your feelings, but don't project your feelings onto the child. That's how I feel
Can
today
we?
at
Hmm.
41. That's how I feel. You understand?
Yeah.
Because people be quick to be like, "Oh, I remember when she." Listen, I'm being real about my real. I've had the baby mama moments,
Oh yeah.
but the adult in me and the mother in me, you know what I mean? I can say far few and in between, so much that I can't remember. But I will say that I've always had an open door policy when it came to my children's fathers. You're welcome to come get them because I trust both of them. You're welcome to come get them. You're keep them, come get them, whatever. I don't care, girlfriend, new wife, whatever the situation is. I trusted the individual, the father. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And if you don't, then a lot of this could be alleviated if we start looking at the people we're having children by.
Hello.
Because if you can't trust your child with them, then you shouldn't have trusted yourself with them. Is my mic working? No.
You know what? I'm not playing with you.
Russell has a comment. He says, I love my kids. I love my kids. I might not like my kids, but I do love them. They tend to take the thoughts of their mom towards the man because of emotional feelings. But when a child grows up to know that their father loves them and wants to be there with them, it's their decision on how the relationship builds from there. I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
He says, but I always tell my kids I love them. I will always be there for them, but they have to make the decision because at the time they're under their mother's care, they need to know. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely agree with that. First and foremost, that has to be established. Even though I'm not here in the home, I love you. I love
Mm-hmm.
you. I love you. I love you. We are not separated because of you. You have nothing to do with this. Matter of fact, don't worry about it. We love you. We love you. I love you. We love you. Mothers do have a very strong sense of um and let me not say that because I was getting ready to use the word control. Um they're highly influential on their children's mindset and way of thinking about their fathers, even indirectly, Russell. So I do agree with that. I honestly do. That being me, not to the point where, and I've had moments where even as an adult now, being married, especially when I first got married, it was really hard to relinquish or share the relationships. And then of course I have young adults, so they were comfortable for me, they were safe for me, they were mine, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so there were conversations that I now know shouldn't have been had with them. You don't share everything with your child, like you can't share everything with your family when it comes to relationships, because people are going to be biased. It's just that simple. I'm choosing my blood. I'm gonna be biased. You could be wrong as two left shoes. I'm gonna be biased. And when you're dealing with young minds, all they know is to be loyal to the one that has fed them all their life. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But to what you were saying, Russell, there does come a point in time, and I'm gonna jump back over. Well, either way, there does come a point in time where the child um should be able to make a fair assessment about the relationship and how they want to operate in that relationship and how they want that relationship to be. Um, and that I think comes with the the mother not um not again projecting her feelings and opinions in the presence or directly to the children, and allowing them to formulate their own opinion about their father, good, bad, or indifferent, because one thing for sure and two for certain, they absolutely will. Simply Lorraine.
I mean, I think that we should get to the matter of when we, as parents, keep another parent from a child, or we allow our feelings and emotions to, let's see, distort a relationship. We're
Mm-hmm.
actually holding back a whole nother set of love from our child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother parent. That's a whole nother person that's gonna love on them,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them, somebody to be there for them, and a lot of times a whole nother side of a family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby.
You know, it's, I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
a
Yes, ma'am.
whole nother family to love on them and kiss on them, and just to make them feel special, for them to know that they're loved, versus sometimes when we're not able to get that love or see that love, then that may set up a complex within the child, as far as, well, my daddy don't love me, when that was never the case, or they don't like me, or they don't care for me, when really somebody was keeping them from you.
Ooh, you better come on, right vein. Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, we open up some doors that are really hard to shut, and sometimes takes years to shut, if ever.
Mhm. Mhm. And you know what? I believe that without that balance, the mother ends up being the one that the children, for lack of better words, have an issue with. I was going to say despise, but I'm going to be nicer and say has an issue with, because
Yeah.
mm, they grow up and they realize, hey, now I can make my own choice. I can have a relationship without any input, any influence. I can be around this family without any restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, really dope family. You know what I'm saying? Full of love. Like, oh my God, they absolutely love us, love me. I wonder what it would have been like to literally grow up with this. And
Mm-hmm.
so then it becomes an issue where it's like you withheld something very near and dear to them that they can't get back. And I don't think mothers think that far in advance because they're in their feelings in the moment.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's just based on the family in general. You know what I mean? Even if, and I just posted this, I was gonna mention it earlier, but I had to swallow it and pull my
Mm-hmm.
life together. But my aunt, um, on my dad's side just passed, and it's an aunt where my mom was very intentional after her and my dad divorced. Um, every summer we went to the country where they lived, and we spent almost every summer for up until I was like 13 with
Mm-hmm.
them. She dropped us off every summer. She trust not just him, probably not him at all, but she trusted his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were able to have that balance. And so this is one of the aunts that, during my summer stay, I was at her house. I was I mean it was just it became my norm. You know what I mean? I was able to pick up different things, and um just my DIY skills, something she loves to do. She loved to sew. It's just so many different things that I was able to get, and it was a balance from my mother's side. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? But nevertheless, I thank God that I was given that balance to this day. And for people that don't really know me, and they see the heels, the makeup, the glitz and glam and all of that, they swear, especially being here. You know what I mean? When I first moved here, it was like, she too city, she ain't gonna be here long. We too country, and they have no idea that most of my life, the beginning of my life, I'll say that. Um, I literally, that's where my balance and being, a country girl, you know what I mean, came from. Um, and so I mean, just thrift shopping, and man, I could just tell so many different stories. I had an opportunity to see how she was as a wife. I had an opportunity to see how she was as a mother. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so there's so many different things that when you let one person, the father, you know what I mean, be the determining factor in completely cutting off a relationship and a family that your child clearly was meant to have by design, you just shift the whole dynamic of their journey, their life, the way that it was designed to be. Again, I will say, I said it, I think, in my post. If you're talking about safe, healthy individuals, because we know everybody's mind ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
People do stuff to kids, literally, and we want to make sure that they are safe. We don't want to live in with someone that has an addiction and may fall asleep and the house catch on fire. I'm not saying anything like that. Safety first always. But if you know that, even if it's not the father but an extension of him that will also give them that balance of who they are, where they came from, because I think it's less questions when you get older of trying to figure out why you do certain things. And this is nothing like my mama's side. You know what I mean? But then when I get over here and I meet these people and it's like, oh, I do that. Oh, I'm like, you know what I mean? It gives them balance. I just don't think mothers consider that. And I do understand, like with my grandchildren. I have 3 grandsons. 2 have the same mom. One has a different mom, and that's something that I've tried really hard to be intentional about. I don't. I don't. I don't. My son is an extension of me, but how he is as a father and how he parents, it has no merit on me as an individual or their papa as an individual. My husband, their papa, Corey, it has no merit on that. And I thank God that I can honestly say that with or without my oldest son, both of the mothers have allowed the children to be in our lives, see for us to see them, hands down, because it is what it is. But I think that a lot of women, and I thank God that they're not the dangle, so much dangle type. I think a lot of women do that with men, and men are tired. And before, like you said, Simply Ray, before I'll sit here and have to kiss your tail to see a baby, deuces, I'm not going to do it because I'm here, I'm available, I'm willing to take care of them, to provide whatever they need spiritually, emotionally, physically, you know what I mean, financially. I'm here. And just because you're in your feelings, you're trying to make me jump through hoops and hurdles. Nah, I ain't with it. Keep your
Because
baby.
sometimes a child feels like, sometimes a child can feel like towards the other parent, why didn't you fight for me, or why? And
Exactly.
really, as adults, we need to be asking each other, why do they have to fight?
That's
Why
good.
why does any good, healthy parent that wants to be there for their child, regardless of what has taken place, regardless of what has went on between
Hmm.
parties, because you know who you both knew who you were when you made this child. That
Right.
could
Hey,
be,
mama.
because y'all might not be the same people in a year or two. More
Hmm.
than likely, you're
Hmm.
not going to be. So why does a parent have to fight to be a part of a kid's life when
That
they
was so
are
good.
a
Yeah.
very healthy balance? When they're a good person, they just might not be a good person for you anymore. It doesn't take away from their character.
Exactly.
Something didn't work out between two people. Oh well, get over it.
Yeah.
Because you're, I mean, well, I have to say it like that because you're affecting a whole human being's life.
You are.
You're
Absolutely.
we're setting up complexes and all types of things for what? Because my feelings are hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And our feelings get hurt many times throughout life,
Yeah. Yeah.
regardless of how they get hurt. They get hurt many times during life.
Right. And I know that a lot of mothers would probably, we're gonna have to do the devil advocate, good cop, bad cop, and we're gonna have
Yeah.
to keep switching throughout this thing. But I definitely wanted to take the approach of trying to speak to the men. We do a lot of topics, of course, single moms to wives. We do a lot of topics that are more geared more towards family, but women, of course, because we can only speak from the place from our skin, the skin that we're in, and our experiences. But I did want to try and speak to it. Hey, mama, I do. You be careful. I do want to speak to it from the just an aspect of what I believe men go through, um, just unnecessarily, literally unnecessarily, and a lot of women. I'm saying a lot. I'm not saying speaking just generally like putting everybody in this box, but I am saying I do believe my opinion is that a lot of women have got to stop putting the child projecting their feelings on to the child. Um Just they're not checks. You understand what I'm saying? They're not tools that you use to get what you want. They are, like you said, simply right, they're human beings, and they have to be considered. They're now as infants, newborns, and into the future. And a lot of times it's the ones that literally have, it's the women that have not had fathers in their lives that will do this. And what do we have? We have a cycle, a generational cycle continuing where you've made it okay. I didn't have a dad and I was fine, so it's fine if little Ray Ray don't see his daddy for something so minute and ridiculous. Again, are they being beat, abused, neglected, endangered, molested, any of those things that we, I mean, if the answer to those is no, I'm even going to go as far as saying, even if he's not financially taking care of them, but he's a great dad. And I may get a whole lot of flack behind this. Oh, well. Because
But
again, money, if you are capable of taking care of them financially, but he can cover every other aspect. People grow at their own pace. And who's to say in the future he's not going to be somebody that can literally take over, and I mean, you won't have to do it again. 5 years, 10 years, who knows? You understand? But again, I don't think you can put a price on a child's mental and psyche when it comes to, like you said, Simple Ray, just a lot of different complex that come with not having their father in their life. And I think in society we put a dollar sign on our children's back. We put stipulations based on our emotions on our children that's way too heavy for a child to have to bear or carry. Adult, literally adult emotions on babies. And it's something that we have to really be more conscious about. Russell says, I learned that I would never talk about my exes in front of my kids because that's their mother. Come on, Russell. Hey. And I never wanted them to hear me bash your mother. I never wanted them to hear me bash your mother. You know, now when my kids tell me that their mom bashed me, I said it's okay because I'm a strong man. And they looked at me. They said, but damn, why wouldn't you do that to her? I said, because I'm more respectful to your mom in front of you, no matter what, because that is your mom. And I had a relationship with her, and that's how I got you. So I learned no. Um, absolutely. And that's one thing I think we also have to be conscious of. Um, Again, it's just projecting your feelings and your emotions onto them. It's saying things in their presence or directly to them that is meant to sway them. But again, Russell, these kids, they grow up to be young adults, and they grow up to be able to determine and distinguish manipulation when they done been manipulated. They're able
thank
to,
you, because you said sway. No, that's straight up manipulating your
but
children. That's
look,
what it is.
manipulate. They are able to see who is genuinely the toxic parent versus the one that, like you said, has always been one that's been considerate of and loving and considerate of their feelings.
Yeah.
I don't think we consider that. And again, I found myself once my children were much older. Now, when they were younger, no, I would not. I've slipped a few times. I will say that, but and I'll say more so in their presence than directly. But I, when they were younger, no, I was the mom that was like, "Hey, baby." I was the one that was literally like, I would I mean, Christmas time, you didn't send anything. I'm putting stuff, your name on stuff, or I'm putting stuff in the mail for their birthday on his behalf. No child support, no none of that. But I did that not for him, but for my babies. You understand what I'm saying? It meant more to me for them to believe that he cared, because I felt like that he did. It's just sometimes people can't give you what they don't have themselves to give. Sometimes people can't give you what they've never gotten themselves. They don't know. And it wasn't, my focus wasn't what he was or wasn't doing. My focus was their mental, their psyche. But eventually they got old enough to see and understand, this is my mama, you know? Um and so again, I think if you leave the relationship to be what it's going to grow to be, everything will fall into place the way that it's supposed to. I absolutely love your approach on that, Russell. Simply Lorraine.
I mean, it's just really, what was the other one? Just, I mean, understanding that our kids need to learn what healthy relationships are with
Yeah,
different people as early as possible, whether it be with their father or their other side of the family, their grandma, their grandpa, their cousins, their other brothers, their other sisters. Sometimes we have a whole slew of family out there that we really don't know anything about just because we weren't given the chance to know them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, we just got to make sure that the shoe could easily be on the other foot. And I don't think a lot of mothers consider that. What if it were you? That, and you were separated from your child, and you were given all these stipulations
Yes,
and
ma'am.
hoops and hurdles you had to jump through. What if it were you? Because again, we have to salute all of the single dads. I
Yes,
don't know if
ma'am.
I told y'all this. I think I have, but if I haven't, I'm gonna say it on this show, on this platform. But when we were actually in the studio on the radio, most of our listeners were men and single dads. To where I think one show, I was so full and emotional because I was first of all just realizing that we had way more men interacting and listening, but also the fact that most of these men were calling in and they were like they were single dads. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yes. And so it is in 2021, it's a whole lot of stuff out of order. We know that.
Yeah.
We have to, the shoe can easily be on the other foot. And I thought about that one day, and this thought process, I honestly put me on the path of being able to co-parent amazingly for, oh my god, 8, no, I'm gonna go back maybe 12 years,
Mhm.
co-parent with ease. We communicated anything that was going on. I called, I made sure you knew everything about school functions, you knew everything about events, you knew everything about, we talked about the holidays, how it would go. We talked about everything. And when there were growth spurts, when there were attitudes, I mean, from the discipline to the anything you can think of, we co-parent because we were adult enough to realize that even though we did not work together, we were not good together, we were very toxic together. So it was better for the kids for us not to be together, but they still need to see unity in the love that we had for them and being able to move. You understand what I'm saying? And you, as a unit, there was some, playing the ends against the middle, but once we realized, like, is this happening? Like, yeah, this is happening.
Yeah.
We listen, we beefed it up some, you know what I mean? And to do what we needed to do, and raise a well balanced child, Brandon. I just had to put that out there. To raise him. And even more of a blessing, he was actually very open with to, my husband. They formed their own, you know what I mean, thing that they have going on where they were able to communicate with each other without me. They were able to, you know what I'm saying? They were able to have conversations. And so now not only do you have two loving parents, but now you have three loving parents. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. And being a teenage mom, not really having that experience with my older three children, being able to have that, as an adult, it was everything. And of course, if I could go back and undo a lot of the things that I learned as an adult with my older three children, I would have loved to. But it gave me a sense of, okay, this is how it should be done. This is the right way to do it. It's not about me. It's about what's best for the children. It's about what's best for them. It has nothing to do with, well, you left me, you cheated on me, you didn't pay me, you this, you that, you had another baby. Anything y'all can think of. It has nothing to do with it. Listen, people are in your life for a reason, season, lifetime. But your children are going to be your children for an entire lifetime, guaranteed. And so, but more importantly, they're not going to be children forever. So I think a lot of this, if we could address this issue right here, women, mothers, we could start to avoid a lot of trauma bonds in other areas of people's life when they become older. Like you said, the complex that we give them. You know what I mean? And we're seeing it a lot. And I see it a lot in our daughters. I see it a lot in our sons. I see that no matter how hard they try to play, like it don't bother them. I'm cool. He ain't been here all my life. BS. Again, we're talking about this was already predestined. It was designed to be for both parents, the mother and the father, to be in their life. In what aspect of their life, as far as the mother and the father to be together and all of that, different show. But as far as being in their life, absolutely. I do feel like it's something we've got to stop tampering with, women, because there's a point, I've told y'all this before, where God had to put it down in my shanana, as Keita B say. I had to realize that this is just a little bit off topic, but using myself as an example, I had to realize that I had mine and my husband's business, and then I had mine and God's business. I had mine, God, and my husband's business. And so at some point, you have to understand what's your business and what's not. Yes, even as a mother. Mind your business. Again, good parent, taking care of the child, want to be there, not bad talking you, even if he is, so what? Grow up. You know who you are. At the end of the day, don't get in the way of that. Mind your business. They safe. You trust them. You know they gonna be okay. You know if somebody come for your babies, he gonna go in. Let it be. But we are very dominant and controlling species sometimes. And because we're not there to say, oh, he can't eat that at 9:00. He don't drink at 8 after 8. She can't wear that dress on Saturday. She only wears it on Friday. Oh, her hair don't look right. Let it be.
And by you saying that, and if you know he can't do no hair, and you know you don't want nobody's hands in your baby's head, do their hair before they go.
Oh. You know what I can't stand?
Braid the hair. French braid the hair. Put it in a cute style that's going to last for a week.
Listen.
Or allow him to take them to the shop, get their hair done, whatever it is, and then just be happy when they come back home with what they come back home with.
And if the new girlfriend or wife knows how to do hair and your baby gonna be all right, and your baby gonna look cute. Cut all that. Well, you let her put her hands in my daughter's head. Shut up. For real, shut up. You sound stupid. Anybody gonna cut your baby hair? If she took time to do your child's hair, the bigger question is, why didn't you? Because let me tell you something about my mama. Even though she was taking me to my father's family, and even though they was gonna make sure we was straight, we popped tags when we got there. Hair was done. When they opened that suitcase, everything was new. Now, I ain't saying everything with your baby got to be new, but I can't stand these really wretched, trifling mothers, because I don't feel like filtering tonight, that will intentionally send their children looking an entire fool, just dusty, dirty, just to get them new clothes. That's a reflection on you, boo-boo kitty. That has nothing to do with if make that's not gonna make the father want to buy him clothes. Of course, if he's the good dad that we're talking about, he's going to do it. But that just makes you look trifling. That would make me want to say I need to get my kids from her, because if this how they dressing and looking, and you understand what I'm saying, you don't need them. But then when that happens, it's a whole situation. I love my baby. You know what I'm saying? But your baby stay running around in diapers. No clothes, ever. Your baby's hair ain't never combed. Your baby look like the little Ethiopian kids with, I'm sorry. They look like they're hungry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They just look like they hungry. You can see their ribs. We got a problem. You're not affecting the father. Hello. There's a whole little human being here that is physically, you know what I mean, physically feeling your wrath. But for somebody else, for something that they had nothing to do with, I ain't with it. I'm not, you understand what I'm saying? I can't stand it. I wasn't like that. My kids were going to be clean, hair done, new stuff, whether new or not, decent, clean clothes, diaper backpack, well, diapers, wipes, everything they needed. Because again, he ain't using it. The daddy that's not putting on the diapers, the daddy is not putting on the clothes. That's for your babies. And you have women that do that just to make them buy them new clothes. Y'all, come on, we got to stop. That's ridiculous on every level of ridiculousness. Have you not seen it, Simply Ray?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Is it? It's like, what's up?
I don't understand that, because that wasn't my vein as a young mother. That wasn't
Yeah.
what I was on as a young mother.
Yeah.
So I really don't even understand the thought process.
I don't know if it is a thought process. I don't even think it's processed. You just thought about it and did it. You just did it. And I mean, we've got to stop that, because again, it's a bad reflection on you. And then again, it's confusing, I think, to the kids. I think that we are so much better as a unit when we work together. Use your words. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to send them out with you. I'm going to send her with you. But you know what I mean? She needs some new shoes. I'm not going to lie. She needs some new shoes. You know, whatever it is, talk, communicate. Parenting is about communicating.
And I think also for young mothers, since you went there, I'm glad you
Mhm.
did, when it's like, and it's like, well, they need some new shoes, they need this, they knew that. Even if we're doing it, even if you've done it full time, understand if you ain't got it sometimes, just maybe they don't have it either.
That's true.
So having a whole fit when they can't bring a pair of shoes, or help with diapers, or help
Mhm.
with this, or help with that, as a struggling single parent, you know what it is not to have
Mhm.
something that you need. So just really taking the time to see that they might not have it.
Yeah.
It's not, instead of going in your mind sometimes and being like, oh, they just don't, and they over here doing this.
Mhm.
You don't know what somebody else doing with their money. Sometimes we
They
don't
take
even
on
know
their
what we're doing
kids.
with our own pockets, let
Yeah.
alone somebody else's.
Right. And again, we are definitely speaking about the good fathers, the intentional fathers. I see it all the time, and it just, man, it makes me so sad on many levels. But one is because I see a lot of men like, I'm paying all this money, you know what I mean? And I can't even see my child, you know, for whatever reason. Um, and the fact that they are intentional about just being in their presence, you know what I mean, just wanting to be a part of their lives. I've seen it with, you know, my siblings. I've seen it, you know, I've experienced it up close and personal, and it's just sad when, again, even if we just take the money off the table, because I really didn't want to make it about that. I was trying to really stay clear of that particular topic, because this is about their mental and their first of all, their mental well-being.
Well, then on top of that, I'm glad you said that too, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like we're not thinking about our child's mental well-being. Then when we have this preteen, this teenager, this young adult, and they're all over the place, and yet still, as whether it be father, whether it be mother, we haven't taken the our part, our responsibility
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
molding
Mm-hmm.
this child into who they are,
And what's the first
and
thing everybody
you
say?
know, and this child has an issue with the other parent, a real issue, but let's say that mother or that father, they ain't never stepped up and said, well, baby, I really did keep you from them.
Come on now. You better
You know,
say that when
this
you
kid
say
got a
that.
whole hatred for a parent that you placed there, because you either you just didn't let them, you made it hard as hell. Anytime you called and asked something from them, you raising hell. Like seriously.
Yep.
And then what if somebody, what if that parent, father or mother, or their family blew you up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And then something, what I mean by blew you up, sometimes the other side of the family just don't even want to say, they not even finna tell this kid, like, baby,
Yep.
for real, you know what? It was your mama.
Yeah.
It was your daddy.
Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come.
And you have a whole
Where you go?
and
Come
not
back.
even
Okay.
prepared for your adulthood.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, 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 yeah. You right. I stop you when you lying.
I mean, seriously, we end up with these young adults in flat out turmoil and not even ready for adulthood. And then we
Absolutely.
have passed off a bunch of anger and anxiety and
Anger.
stress and all types of things. Because one thing, I'm just thought about it during this conversation, we're passing on unforgiveness.
Yes.
Your kids be 20, 30 years old, you still don't like the other parent, or it's their
Ridiculous.
fault, or you still have something bad to say about them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously.
Yep. Yeah. Like really. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
as a parent, as a single mother or a single father, what type of seeds you planting?
Yep. More importantly, again, realizing now your grandchildren are going to go through that, because it's a very high percentage, high chance that that's exactly what they're going to deem okay. It now has become part of their norm, you know what I mean? And so now your child is going to have a child, and they're going to actually be okay doing their child the same way. Why? My mama did it for me. And in their mind, and some people say it out loud, I turned out okay, just as ignorant and fool as they want to be. But in their mind, I'm okay. You're not okay. You
No.
know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
absolutely not okay, because your dynamics, which is why I absolutely love this show, like it's somebody else's, but I love this show because we really do want to look at and talk about the family dynamics and how we have allowed ourselves. We can go back and talk about, oh, when the father was snatched out the home, and we've had those conversations before, but again, we're in 2021, and these are choices that we made. I don't remember Massa coming to snatch my daddy out the house, so I can't tell that story with conviction. but it is in our history. And that's one thing we've got to actually do. Wake up and live in our truth and our reality. And our reality is Massa ain't snatched our baby daddies out of the home, our husbands out of the home. We either pushed them out, they either voluntarily left, and we did not know how to still keep the family dynamics intact for the next generation. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's what we did. They didn't act like us. They didn't talk like us. They didn't move the way we want them to move. We got the children. We feel entitled. You know, we deserve this. We deserve that. I carried them 9 months, then I'm taking care of them by myself. I wake up in the middle of the night when they sleep, when they sick, when they this, get them ready for school. Did you, if you can honestly say, I had an open door policy. I got a whole husband. And before he was my husband, I had a whole boyfriend. And it was understood. I had an open door policy. He was here for it. You know why? Because he knows what it's like not to have a consistent father in his life. Men. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to switch back over now. Men. Those that are intentionally not, let me reword this. Those that are not being intentional, men, fathers, about being in your children's lives, they never forget it. And they are definitely aware when the mothers have open door policy and you just didn't choose it. But what you don't have the right to do for those that did not have your fathers in your life and you know what that felt like, you don't have the right to make somebody else, another little person, another little being feel the same way you felt. That to me is just cruel. Because you know that pain, you know that hurt, and you will intentionally project that on somebody else, your seed. That's not okay. No, it's not the mama's business. If you out in the club every night smoking weed, this, that, and the other, you with your homeboys, that ain't her business, honestly. But what is her business is you telling your child you're going to come and you don't show up. You telling your child you're going to buy them this or you know, take them here or take them there and you don't show up, because now what happens is now that child is raised or grows up and honestly gets used to disappointment. Church say amen. Can y'all see my church finger? Church say amen. Literally gets used to disappointment. I remember saying as an adult until recently, like, we're used to disappointment. We're used to disappointment. I'm used to disappointment. And one day it clicked, like, nobody should be used to being disappointed. When you could literally just say, hey, baby, I'm going to try. Choose your words. You're talking to a child that's growing. Mama gonna try, baby. Daddy gonna try. But if I don't, I love you and I'll make it up. We'll have to plan for something day. If you can't show up because stuff happens, call. I know I said I would do this, but I'm just letting you know I didn't forget about you. But not today. Something came up. I gotta work. I gotta this. I gotta that. If you can make the sacrifice and it's something that is not that pressing, the child would love to see you make that sacrifice. You know what? I could go over here and watch the game with my homeboy, but instead I'd rather spend that time with my son. I don't care if you do it, sit down and you coloring. You understand what I'm saying? It could be something simple. It's so many things I think that we could do to just pour into our kids' mental, emotionally, and physically, just being there, hands on. And I promise you, money is minute compared to what will sustain them as adults. I really, truly believe that. And we do have a lot of selfish parents on both sides that continue to just cycle this mess and recycle mess. And it's like, for what? Who prospers from it? Who benefits from it? We did the show before, but I gotta make this statement again. Nobody wins when the family feuds. Whether you married, boyfriends, baby daddy, baby mama, you're still there's still going to be a forever connection there. And I think that a lot of times it's because, again, we when we start losing respect for people just as humans. Simply Ray, you mentioned it, when we don't consider that stuff happens. Did you ever consider that people might not have it? Did you ever consider, and I want to say this to all of the parents, and this comes from my experience, my own spiritual experience. You have a God-given assignment as a mother. You have a God-given assignment as a father. Your baby mama didn't make you a father. Your baby daddy didn't make you a mother. God did. There is many people out here that wish they had children and are not able to have children. So I see it as a God-given assignment. One thing I can tell you that I did, young mother or old mother, I answered my assignment first. And I truly believe to this day, because of that, is why my blessings continue to flow. I answered my assignment. We had we had our moments. We've had good days, bad days, ugly days, but at the end of the day, when I look back over my life, I can't complain. As a teen young mother to where I am today, my children are not perfect by any means, and neither am I, and neither was I as a parent. But I can't complain. And I really truly believe because it was the grace and favor over my life by simply answering your assignment. Or don't sign up for it. Just don't sign up. If you know, we talked about this before about trauma, having trauma bond or having trauma, and then bringing your trauma into a relationship. Children, being a parent, being partner parents, co-parenting, whatever it is, they're all relationships. It's some form of a relationship. If you know you have the kind of trauma where you're not ready to be a father because you ain't dealt with your trauma, you're not ready to be a mother because you ain't dealt with your trauma, don't ruin somebody else's life and say, well, this is what my mama did, this is what my daddy did, they'll be all right. That's retarded.
And then doing that, having the audacity to ruin somebody else's life and feel like they owe you later on in life. Wow. Where? I mean, for real, like when we pour into our children as parents, like that's a cycle. Yeah, they're gonna be there for you as you get older, but really stop and think. What are you pouring? Are you pouring something that's gonna make them turn around and want to be there for you? Because the day and age of, oh, that's mama or that's daddy or that's grandma or that's grandpa or I'm the elder, them days is over.
Yeah.
I mean, because what does the title mean if you're not walking in the assignment of the title? Absolutely nothing.
Baby, better say that when you say that, girl. Yes, ma'am.
It don't mean absolutely nothing. It's a word.
And I see that word thrown around with a whole lot of audacity and entitlement. Can we say that?
Yes.
My baby, my children, my son, my daughter. What exactly does that mean? You have no clue. Selfish Annie, selfish Billy. You have no clue. People just like the word. I'm a mama. I got a son. I got a daughter. We got twins. But you have no clue. Because being a parent, first and foremost, baby, you are last. You got to set your whole set your whole self down,
Amen.
pick yourself back up 18 years later, maybe. But somewhere in the vicinity of 18ish, you'll find yourself again. But if you the kind of mother or father that you truly throw that title around as being, baby, you can forget about you. And that's so that. My boo-boo kitty says, Deanne says, okay, and if you don't feel like you being the best, go to therapy and ask for help, even if your pride big. Absolutely. And again, we're talking about dealing with trauma. I think the biggest thing is we know that sometimes people realize, like, I think I got trauma bond. And I can safely say this because it's my mama. But watching our trauma bond show, she was like, it just hit me like I got a lot of trauma bond. It's never too late to realize it. And it's even better when you realize it to get the help, and especially while you're still being influential to your kids, while you have a really big impact on their lives. Get the help. Hey, if you realize it and they're 10 or 12 or 13 or 15 or whatever, get them help too. Because some of your trauma, we can safely say, may have already spilled over into their life. Accidentally, unconsciously, we'll say that. You just were unaware. But it's like people are like, well, I done went down the wrong road this far. I might as well stay on the wrong road.
No, turn around.
Turn around. Hello. Any other time you bust a Yui, bust a Yui when it matters. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, turn around. It's okay. Because it's never too late. And I love the way Deanne worded it. It's never too late to find and bring your best you to any relationship. It's never too late. Bring your best you. Boy, we had that conversation, Simply Lorraine. Can we get the best you or not? You know what I'm saying? You deserve your best you. And understand you cannot give any relationship, a relationship with your children, a relationship with your children's mother, a relationship with your children's father, a relationship with your children's families. If you don't start with you, you cannot bring your best self to the situation. Absolutely. You're bringing trauma and baggage and stuff that people did not ask for, and especially your children. Your children didn't ask to be born.
Man, can we talk about it? Why do parents act like hello?
Can we talk about
it? I mean, when you decide to be a parent, you owe your kids everything. Why? Because guess what? They did not ask to be here. That nobody has a choice in being born.
True.
They don't ask for it. They don't pick their family. We don't pick our parents. We don't pick anything. Yeah. We just we make it here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So when we really do owe them everything that they need until they become independent. And that's the best of everything that we can give them. And that's not just, especially this day and age, that's not just water, light, food, gas, and a roof no more, baby. That's mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Yep.
I mean, because you can have all these things, but home ain't even a place they really want to be.
They
praying house for some peace, baby. Our grandma's house or somebody else's house just for some peace, a peace of mind.
Yep. Yep.
So sometimes we do have to do a self-check in parenting.
Yep. And again, we are French. No, we are speaking from experience. We are literally. I know what it's like for my child to say, "Can I just go stay with TT? Can I just go?" You're not being a peace. You know what I mean? Sit with your ish, deal with it, because it is so easy to project that onto your seeds. And it's overwhelming for a child, it's overwhelming for you. So imagine whether we, like I said, indirectly or directly, the weight we put on children. And I really wish we could be more conscious and considerate about that. I know that it's probably one of my biggest flaws, and I'm honestly going to say indirectly, unconsciously.
Mhm.
Even now, and they're young adults, I am so intentional about trying to catch myself in my tracks and say, hey, you trying to make a 20-year-old, 20 something year old, you know what I mean, carry 40-year-old weight. You know what I mean? It's just about not being a perfect parent, but being intentional and being considerate. You understand? Because one thing I try to do is put myself in their shoes. I try to put myself in my children's shoes. I try to put myself even in their father's shoes. I catch myself like, okay, that was a bit much. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you, like you said, you just got to be real with your real. That was a bit much. You didn't really have to do that. And even now, you know, Brandon and Ed, Lyric, Adriana, they're all adults, young adults, but adults. It's no longer picking up the phone and being that mediator with my children's father and them. They have to now realize that this is something because they know they have them. So this is something I need to pick up the phone and call my dad about. Or I need to see if my dad, can help me with this situation. Or dad, I need some advice. Or dad, you want to go sit down and have lunch? I'm no longer the mediator there. Job is done. You understand? Now, if it's something on my end where they're not available to call their father, then I'll let them do that. And I can honestly say, well before they were adults, that has been established and that was taking place. But we've got to be able to loosen our rein and again let go of that control women and let the relationship form without you. I think sometimes some mothers that are really good mothers and they are trying to be intentional feel like they're going to become a third wheel. Does that make sense? If the child has a direct access to their father and the mother is no longer, that, hey, you know, little Johnny wants you to come to lunch. When little Johnny could say, Dad, I got, we got what is it, come to school, eat lunch with your dad on this day. And mama no longer has to be there. I think there's just, for lack of better words, almost kind of like this separation, issue going on. I think sometimes mothers just want to make sure that they still have their place. Again, it's finding the balance. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of times the women just cannot relinquish control. And I think it's important that we understand that it's all right for the father to have a relationship. It doesn't take anything away from you. Little Johnny love you. Little Jessica love you. She love you. But it's okay to let her love her daddy. Period. That's what he's there for. Especially if he love her back and he want to be in her life. Let I think it's so sad to hear and see a lot of men like, I can't even see my kid, or I gotta deal with this, whatever they call her.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I think it's sad and it's crazy. And I really hope and pray that this, y'all please tag, like, share this in every show, but this show, because I think it's very important that the men have a voice and the fathers understand, listen, I'm available. I'm here. I'm doing what I have to do. I take my child. I don't take you. And it's all right. You know, I don't know if you got rejection issues. I don't know what your issue is, but it's not what we do know is that it is not about you. Tell them, Lorraine. That's your thing. That you said.
Yes, it's not about you.
It's not.
Everything's not about you. It's like, it's like, okay, how can I say it? It's like everything my family's went through this week.
Uh-huh.
And then somewhere, let's just say somewhere in my mind, I got something going on. Nobody called and checked on me. Girl, what's your issue?
It's not about you.
It's not with every, we people losing people left and right, got money issues, COVID. Like we are literally everybody, I think everybody's being touched right now. So it's not, everything can't just be about you.
That was good.
It can be as simple as I have a great support system.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always complaining about something. But the very person I'm complaining to don't even have a support system. So they look bitch.
Knockout.
You know what I'm saying? Or we don't even understand each other because here I am always thinking about me and what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's just like at the end of the day, everything ain't about you. Maybe what you got going on in your day-to-day life, but everybody's life stopping for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing. And you hit the nail on the head. And I had to let you say it because I just love every time we talk and you, it ain't about you. It's just not about you. I think that's the best way to sum this up. It's not about you. Long as you've done this checklist, the safety, we're going to call it the safety checklist. The safety checklist, baby, listen. And she watching. My mother was out the door in 2.2 seconds. Drop, skated, period. Because she knew we were good. If you know they are good, what was, I don't know, Slicing was like 3.5, maybe 3 hours, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. For, let's just say, rounded up 4-hour drive. She did that and did not come back until the end of the summer and not a day before. She did that because she knew she could trust the support system. She knew even if he didn't do right, first of all, they would make him do right. They gonna make him be accountable. We love him. We here to spend time with him too, but you're gonna do your due diligence as well, sir.
Well, and then another thing, when we're quick to scream as parents, I ain't got no help, but you won't let nobody help you. Baby, listen.
Girl, you better go on now. We finna close the show.
Because you don't get to tell somebody how they gonna help you.
Help me, Jesus. Help me.
Like, yeah, you might want it this way, but they can take a load off over here or over here, or in a few months. You don't get to, be all, I mean, you shouldn't be all upset because they not doing it exactly the way they want them to.
And again, don't get me wrong. The father is a major key. We're establishing that through this conversation. If we haven't, I'm saying it. The father is a major key. But one thing for sure and two for certain, his family is as well.
Yes, ma'am.
He is because of his family. His family is a major key as well. I am so glad that I didn't have to. I'm not somebody that had to see that my father's sister passed, and I'm sitting here like I didn't really know them. I didn't really know her. Nah, this hit. Do you hear me? So anyway, yeah, it hit because I did. And that's it's a major key. It's a major balance. It
Yeah.
you
And
have
that's where a lot of go
mhm,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
That's where a lot of kids get a lot of stuff from. Like parents can't take the place of a kid sitting on the porch with a grandparent
Ah!
or a great grandparent and getting a little jewel dropped on them that they don't figure out till they 10, 11, 12, maybe even a teenager.
Trying to give you a drum roll. Brrr.
I mean, seriously, I can remember it still to this day. I can hear my great grandpa in Kansas on my Warren side, my grandmother's father. And he would always tell me all the time, Lisa, don't let nobody give you any wooden nickels. I'd always say, okay, grandpa. I had no idea what he was talking about
Mm-hmm.
until I was probably about 18, 19. And somebody was saying something to me. And I was like, that's what my grandpa meant.
Oop! Right
They was
there.
like, what are you talking about? I
That's
said,
it.
my grandpa said, don't let nobody give me any wooden nickels. And they were like, what's that mean? I said, well, today in our time, it means don't let nobody sell you a dream.
Pull the wool over your eyes. Period. Yeah.
Like, and it just hit like a ton of bricks later
Mm-hmm.
when it made sense. Like, you know what I mean? And it was always a place of peace. Like, I knew my father's whole family.
Yeah.
I went every summer as a kid. I'd
And
be in Kansas City, and when my aunt and uncle was going to work, I'd be like, drop me off in the country. I want to go to
absolutely.
grandma and grandpa's house. Like,
Right.
where I can run around all over the farm.
Oh, honey.
Let me be. I don't want to stay in the city. Take me to the country, please.
Run around with the we used to have right outside of mother's house, which was my dad's mom. We called her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Right outside of her house was this fire hydrant. And baby, they used to open it and we out there running around barefoot in the water, in the mud. It was just everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Those are moments you cannot get back. And this is not to excuse a trifling daddy. We're just gonna put it out there. It's not to excuse it. But one thing about it, his family loved us so much. They loved us enough for him in his
Yeah.
absence. I cannot, and we absolutely love our dad. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? We love our dad, and he was present as he could be present. We'll say that. He's still as present as he can be present right now today. Getting on my nerves, calling me about him being sick, but he gonna be all right. But at the end of the day, they loved us so much. I didn't feel hit by his absence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I missed anything
Well, it didn't
because
matter because you,
we had him. There would be no them or no him without them,
yeah,
or them without him, however you want to put it. But through them, we had him. And
yeah,
for me, I can't speak for nobody else and nobody else's child, but for me, that was enough. I'm so thankful for my dad. I'm so thankful to my dad because of our family. I'll say that because of his family, our family. Like we were good, and even when he was trying to come get us, we like, nah, I want to stay with auntie. I want to stay with granddaddy. Like you said, you know what I mean? Because it was just like we had him. You know what I mean? It meant everything. And
yeah.
so again, I just really hope that this blesses some young, or I'm not even want to say young, because believe it or not, it's some old
Some parents out there.
It's some old, like, get your life type mothers out here. Just get your life type mothers out here. Still on the same thing. And again, no judgment. We're just calling a spade with no filter tonight. Get it together because it has nothing to do with you. Mind your business. And while your child is your business, your child and their relationship with a good father is not your business. The only thing you need to be concerned with is, will he or she be safe? Do they have a good support system? If the answer is yes, mind your business. It's that simple. Just mind your business. You don't have to come along. It's not a package deal. Drop them off like Nita dropped us off every summer. Trust in the person you chose to have a child with. Trust in their support system. Trust, first of all, trust God that your baby is gonna be covered. Go on and find you some business. Actually, that's just for you. Because
Right.
daddy.
Now you get some alone time, baby.
Right. Let me tell you something. Once the number of kids started adding up, even at one, I knew then. I'm not the mama to say you can't come get your baby. I'm not her. Yes, you can. You absolutely can come get them. So I don't know how these single mothers out here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 or 7 kids or whatever is just intentional about telling somebody they can't come give them freedom, can't come give them a break. That I'm not her. No, you can come get them. Period. One problem I didn't have is saying you can't come get them. Oh, you can absolutely come get them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to come get them for a few hours a weekend, whatever? Be my guest. Absolutely. And I thank God that I at least did that right. I at least made a decision to have children by men that literally I knew my kids would be safe. I knew they would be taken care of. That I could say. I might not can say anything else, but I can say that. I can say I knew they would be okay. Um, would they do it the way I did it? No. You understand? Because they're not me and I'm not them. But I knew they would be okay. I know with their families, with their dad's families, absolutely okay. And again, a blessing to be, even to this day, still connected and bonded with their families. With or without them, their families are still very present and very available. You know what I mean? And very present in their life. They really are. And even mine to this day. And so, and what, I'm 41, my sister is no, I'm just playing. She's 2 years older than me. And I can honestly say the same thing with my father and my mother, my father's family and my mother's relationship. She's right here. She said, I can say, actually, Mama just made a statement. Arnitha Johnson says, I can say firsthand because of my parents and how I was with you all. It brings on it brings an absolute great balance to a child's life, being a part of all sides of a healthy, loving family. And I think that that's something that we are, I know we've repeated several times this evening, because that's the one thing that matters the most. If they're healthy, honey, let the village be the village. I got to go back, circle back around to something that you said, Simply Ray, and that's the fact that you see, I have heard, you know, mothers say they don't have a support system. You know what I mean? But they would rather, because of pride and egos, they would rather struggle. They would rather see their kids literally live, I mean, literally below poverty. You understand what I'm saying? And not have, not even the necessities they need. rather than allow the village, whatever side it is, to be the village.
Mhm.
You don't get, okay, for those that don't understand what single moms to wives is, we're going to actually do a show just based on our come from and where we are now. But the single moms is not gloating. We're not bragging about being a single mom. It's just part of our testimony. That's it. It's just part of our story, our testimony. And the to wives is where we are now. The coming from and where we are, the two. We are blessed in that. And Simply Lorraine's husband is right there knocking at her door. We're gonna go ahead and claim it, Jesus. But I said that to say that, I gotta be theatrical. But I said that to say you don't get gold stars. Maybe we made it say, I think we've made it Simply Lorraine look too easy.
Now this little goofy show they got out here talking about teen mothers and putting those,
Oh, I
they
seen it the other day
just
and I was like,
glorify something. Not saying that, oh, I made a choice. I decided to step up to the plate when I made a
wow.
choice as a young woman. Now, was
Yeah.
I fully aware? I knew what could happen, but was I thinking that was going to happen? Did I understand everything that was going to come with it?
No, no,
No,
no, no, no, no.
but
No.
when the child came, then I stepped up to the plate. And again, I made the choice to be a mother
Yeah.
to the best of my ability. Was I perfect at it? No. As I grow and learn, do I apologize? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I apologize for things I didn't know as a young mother? Do I apologize to, you know what I mean? So, do I suggest different things as he's going through as a young adult?
Mm-hmm.
Will I talk to him and be honest with him and be open? Even if he feels like I wasn't out of sorts, will I apologize and let him know, no, baby, that was wrong? Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
will.
Yes. That you turn.
Because I wasn't always right and I wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, I did my due diligence from as far as I knew how to do it.
Right, right. And that's all that any of us can do. But what I don't want and now I am going to speak specifically to the young mothers. If anybody is watching or if you know somebody that needs to watch this, please tag, like, and share. You don't get gold stars by intentionally putting you and your child in a struggle that God has not designed for you to be in. Meaning, it doesn't matter if it's your immediate family or your child's family or your dad's family. If you have a support system, if you have a village that is willing to be there and pour into you and pour into your babies, let them.
Yes, ma'am.
Because nobody sets out to. I didn't make it a goal to struggle
I
just so
think
I can have a story.
I think it's I don't know if people don't know how to ask for help or if it was prideful, but I'll never forget. I think it was before my son started kindergarten. I was getting done with hair school. It was a lot going on, a lot changed in my life. And I remember just calling my, could they come get him? And they kept him for me for like 5 months while I prepared for the boards, while I got myself to lead. I noticed it when I came home and I would be agitated.
Mm-hmm.
And all he wanted after my long 14, 15-hour day, some attention.
Yeah.
But when I noticed that it was agitating me, and asked for help, and they came and got him for 5 months. A lot of people like, how can you send your son away? No, how can you not if you know you're on the verge of breaking down and you know you're on the verge
Damn.
and they ain't got nothing to do with your issues. Here you are popping on them, smacking them, hitting on them
Yeah, you make me.
quick because of your emotions at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And they're just being
Absolutely.
what they is.
Such a great, 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 great. Listen, y'all, this listen. This is my sis right here. Period. It's just it
I
is
mean,
what it
was
is.
it easy? I mean, it was easy for me. Everybody else had issue with
Because you
it.
do
And
more
better yet, I told one of the
yeah.
kids, I suggest you should, and tell everybody else to be quiet. I mean, because you getting yourself together so you can be a better parent for them. You
And
can
let me
be
tell you,
the person for
yeah, absolutely. And
easy. Sometimes it gets really hard. Sometimes it gets very overwhelming.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
And you coming
mhm.
home to children at the end of the day who's full
That's
of whatever. Whether you got
listen,
a quiet one that just wants you to look at a picture, or you got one that's running all over the house, at that point in time, they just want your attention and your affection. That's it.
listen. You just listen. I can't think of a better way for us to exit, because that is it right there. You don't listen. They are not child support check, disability check, welfare check. They not Section 8 check, whatever you want to call it, food stamps. These are human beings. The only benefit you need to worry about is what's going to benefit your child.
Hmm.
If your child is going to be better off with their father, let them be better. Get yourself together and y'all figure out how to do joint custody. You don't need the courts. You need reality. You need to live in your truth and what it is that you and your child's father or what have you actually can agree on, that's for the benefit of the child. If you need to send them to the grandparents, if you need to let your mama keep them, your daddy keep them, or whoever it is, a bad parent to me, this is my opinion, is one that know they need help, have the help, and like you said, simply Lorraine, you'd rather damage a whole new, fresh human being than humble yourself, set your pride and your ego aside, and ask for the help or accept the help. Your help, all those benefits that I mentioned, food stamp, Section 8, disability, whatever you want, Medicaid, whatever, that's help. But that cannot replace nurturing. It can't replace pouring into. It can't replace the mental building of this child. It can't do homework with them. That's part of the village. We have kids that are literally being held back in school. We have kids that are literally uh, 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 mentally delayed, fundamentally, educationally delayed, because, like you said, the parent is overwhelmed or too selfish to make an executive decision about what's best for the child. It absolutely may not be you because you have the title mother. Can we be honest?
True.
If their father is better for them and you know it way down, like he to be saying, yo, shana na na, do what's right for your babies. Or stop calling yourself a mother. You a woman that had a child. I'll have a JJ. That's it. Like we say, sperm donors, we gotta give the mama we gotta give
Womb donors.
huh? Womb donors. We gotta give her a lane because she need one of them. Womb donor. I love it. That's it. Because like we say, queen do queen things, kings do kingly things, mothers do motherly things. It's so much more that comes with that title than just saying I got a baby and now my name is mama. It is bigger than that.
Well, it's bigger than you because this human being has a whole nother purpose. This is a whole nother life that you got to help nurture and grow. Like you're literally a steward over somebody else's life and you're directing their future by
Are
what.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
You
Well,
said
even whether you're intentional about it, whether it's good or bad, guess what? You're still sending them in a direction.
and a
It
oh
might
that's
not
good.
be one you like or want later, but you sent them there.
Come on, come on, come on.
You sure had a big part to play in it.
Absolutely.
Mama or daddy, it don't matter.
And then it'd be the ones that always want to be like, just like your daddy. He wasn't even here. Remember, you didn't let him in. I'm sorry. I had to. You gonna blame this man? He wasn't even
I
there.
cannot with you tonight, Queen G. I cannot. But
He
no,
wasn't
seriously,
even
because you
there.
didn't want to let him in. And vice versa. I mean, and it's not to just be on us, but we're just talking to the women because we were single.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not to say, oh, y'all this or oh, y'all that. I've been in those shoes before. But guess what? Even if you have an open door policy and that man decides never to show up or that woman decides never to show up, guess what? That's on them. That ain't on you. And your child will understand that. Like Queen G said earlier, your child gonna grow up to understand that. My mama, my daddy didn't keep me away from you.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You kept me away from you.
Preachers to the choirs. Oh.
I mean, seriously, all we can do is the best we can, but it's really at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about the children.
It is. It is.
And what type of life and what type of relationships we're helping them build.
Most importantly, that's the most important thing. What type of life and relationships are we teaching them? You mad, baby? They not. First, some of them don't even ain't even old enough to know what mad is. You mad? Your heart got broken. You made a bad choice. It's all on you. You made these decisions. These kids had nothing to do with it. And more importantly, just again, remember, he may not do it the way you do. Nobody like my controlling. I was finna own that, but I don't want to own my controlling self no more because I'm doing better. Let me not say try. I'm being intentional about my words, y'all. I've been in that vein of being very dominant and controlling, and it is not a good, nothing good comes from it because we cannot control everything. You said something so profound a minute ago, and that is although there are children, they have their own purpose and journey in life, and it has nothing to do with us. They have a predestined journey for them. Our only job is to guide and nurture them and prepare them. That's it.
You just makes me think of something. It done made me scratch my head.
I know. We
I mean,
talked about that.
really, like, have we ever stopped to think as parents by what we're doing inside of our homes that we have totally taken our kids off course before they can even be on course?
Yeah.
We don't totally fast track their life somewhere else.
Yep. 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 We sure have. Of course. Of course.
Didn't nobody tell me that parent thing was gonna be like that. All right, one of the two.
Listen, they don't come with instructions, but
no, ma'am.
But us parents, we come before y'all. We have come before y'all. Our parents have come before us. I don't think you could have made listen. off course. We are all off course. Family is the main objective here, to be family. And at the end of the day, family should literally look like God, and God looks like love. And it does not matter whether you are the parents that's been married together 30, 40, 50 years, or you are two people that made this amazing human being that just did not work. At the end of the day, that's what we should show them. That's what it should be. Period. I don't got to be with you. I don't have to like you, but I do have to love you, and I have to show my kids that. Because when we showing more hate and bitterness and you know what I'm saying, just holding on to just ancient stuff, honey, people that moved on had 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 more babies, or baby mamas. Like, let it go. Get where your life at, ma'am? Your life's still 20 years from today ago. Look, from today ago. You gotta let it go. It is what it is. Live. We stunt their growth when we allow ourselves to be stuck in a season that is just meant to be a lesson. Learn your lesson, baby, and move
Well,
on.
if we keep holding on to something that is
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be, or we
Mm-hmm.
don't even want no more, how we gonna help them grow if we not growing? If we stuck 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. 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 And that's what's happened. I see it all the time. Just bitter. Baby mamas, bitter women, just mothers, just bitter. And yeah, the kids definitely, absolutely are going to be that way. And what they don't understand is, like you said, they don't stay young forever. So now you got this young adult that you don't want to deal with, because in your mind, it's easier to say you acting like your daddy, but no, she's acting like exactly what you poured into them. Grudge holding, hateful, mean, mad, bitter individuals. That's what you're
Mhm.
being. And even if you want to be that way, and let's just hypothetically say that's what they got for many years being raised in your house. Even if you let them go with their loving, fun, happy, optimistic, you know what I mean? Father, you're giving them some kind of balance. But when all they got is you and your mad, miserable, bitter way, you get what you what I tell my kids all the time, you get back what you put out. That's what it's gonna be. We ain't no experts. We just done this thing and know it don't come with instructions. And we done bumped
Make
our
no
heads for the listeners and the viewers that are coming behind us. We bumped our heads so y'all don't have to as
sense.
much. So we do hope this show has been a blessing to every last one of you guys. And we hope that we do better. Y'all let these fathers live, and let these babies have a relationship with the fathers.
Let them have
Period.
a life. Let them have a good life.
Yes, just
You know
let
what
them
I
be
mean? And
good.
let 'em even if you didn't have it, whether it was a son without a mother or a daughter without a father, vice versa. Like, man, just let them have something you didn't have. It's okay.
Yes, yes. Just mind your business. I mind your business. I'm sorry that your pappy wasn't there, but theirs is, and they want to be. Just stay. It is so sad. It's so sad to see how this is truly for real. It's like a pandemic in itself. It really is. Just please, y'all, if you can see the bigger picture, which is the child's well-being. Let these fathers be in their kids' lives, please. I didn't say let the child support determine how much the child father is in their life. Let these men be a part of their kids' lives. It is a predestined, intentional design on purpose by the one creator, and that's not you. Let these men be in their children's life. Open the door. If they walk through it or they don't, you've done what we've been saying tonight. You've done your due diligence. So,
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like T.I. tonight. You've done your due diligence. So,
seriously.
We any last words, Simple Lorraine?
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't have nothing else to say. I'm gonna let this one ride out.
I know that's right.
I mean,
we said what we said.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just.
Oh yeah, this was a good one. I gotta, if I do say so myself. Yeah. I felt good about this, honey. I had to check y'all women. I'm about sick of y'all baby mamas. Period. We need to get rid of that word and get back to
man. Tell me about
mother.
Where did it come from?
Oh, I almost said something. See, that's why I said I'm going to go night night. Mm-hmm. It came from the opposite of mothers. We'll say that. I told you everybody need a lane. It came from these, what you call them, womb donors. Yeah. Hey, listen, we love y'all. And what did we decide for next week? We got two good ones, y'all. We got two good ones to choose from. 3 good ones now. But we'll post it. Nevertheless, y'all know we'll be back here next Saturday, same time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the PM. Meet us here. If you have any suggestions, love you too, Mama. If you have any suggestions for the show, you know you can email us or any shout out that you would like for us to give. Email us at singlemomslifestyleradio@gmail.com, and we will be sure to give you or your person a shout out and or get to your suggestion as soon as possible, as soon as we can. We love you guys, and we're going to end the show as always with a video from my baby boy, Brandon. Y'all got to follow Brandon. He's in college to be a construction manager, as well as taking up a side hobby to be a lyricist. That's what I'm going to call it. So y'all follow my baby. But anyhow, we love y'all. Good night. You ain't got to go home, but we finna go to sleep.
Tell me about it.
It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. Say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray, right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she gon' ride. Yeah. She say never fear no men, only fear God. Yeah. So I'ma walk around with my head high in these fear guys. My mama, she gon' be straight, I put that on my God. And I kill 100 niggas before I ever see you cry. I love you, mama. It's a letter to my mama, letter to my best friend. I know your love run deep, it'll never end. She taught me how to cook, she taught me how to clean. My dude's the realest one that is on my team, never ever picking sides. She taught me how to rise, taught me how to be a leader, never ever follow God, son, always follow God. She taught me how to pray right before I eat and right before I lay. Don't be scared to make mistakes. She taught me that it's human, so I'ma be like Nike and just do it. Anything I wanna do, I know my mama, she